Yeah.
And yeah, so Malema, I don't like to say stupid, but the word stupid comes up quite a lot, and he's very good at using his rhetoric to make himself known or get known. And then I've also read about how he didn't pay his own taxes, and how he wants everybody else to pay taxes and do this and that, but he actually managed to evade. At the time, I remember reading he was paid 16 million or something, or didn't pay any taxes, didn't hide everything. These are typical of these kind of people. I don't know how accurate any of what I've just said is, but I think the things he says are just plain stupid, and we'll chase you into the sea and all that sort of stuff. Give me a break. The Africans have never been into going to the sea anyway, so they're more or less land people.
Well, I think what you say is correct, that there are a lot of people who opportunistically try to drive tension in South Africa.
Yeah.
And inflame both sides of the extreme of the racial tensions.
Yeah.
And in actual fact, when you go into the reality on the ground, you see that things are a lot less extreme than they have been painted to be.
Yes, and you also get a hell of a lot of stupid white guys as well. In Parliament, I was watching Athol Trollop and a few of them talking, and I thought, oh my word, I mean, what did you get? What side of the bed did you get out on the wrong side this morning? I mean, no. These people they're not the best people to be in the government in the first place. None of them.
We'll see if we have a budget one of these days as a country, hey? Because the parties seem to not be agreeing on taxes and all that kind of thing.
Yes, well, in a country where any government is putting the tax up, that's when you start looking to leave that country or not be in that country. So England is a good example right now. If you want to know what a good country is, it's where the government is working hard to bring down taxes. And if you're in a country where the government is working hard to raise taxes, well, then that's the dividing line. You want to leave the country that wants to raise the taxes, and you want to stay in a country that is lowering the taxes.
A Doge in South Africa would be
a Doge is
really
looking at lowering the taxes.
Imagine we did that here.
Well, yes, Elon was saying the other day that the money they've saved with Doge so far, they could send every American citizen $807. Let me repeat that. With the money they've saved so far, the government is in a position to refund every single American taxpayer $807 right now.
Chance would be a fine thing in South Africa.
Well, yes, and so it's a case of, look, bad governments get into power when everybody is having a good time. Everybody's relaxed and having a good life. You don't take notice of what guys are getting into the government, or whatever it is. And so, it's only when things start to get rough that people start to notice and say, oh, wait a minute, what's going on? And then these government people say, oh, but you elected us. And you say, well, why don't you know what your name is? Never mind, I elected you. I've never heard of you. And so we need to start looking closer at everything. I think it's happening. It is happening, obviously. A lot of the things that people could get away with under Zuma and so on 10 years ago, they can't get away with that now. And Ramaphosa is far more under scrutiny and answerable than either Zuma, Mbeki, and God, save Mandela. He was best.
Did you ever meet Mandela, by the way? Did you ever meet Mandela?
I went to his inauguration, but I couldn't meet him because I just went to his inauguration.
And his trial, I believe. Were you at?
Oh, yes. Well, that's going back a long way. Yeah, no, I was, oddly enough, that's weird. You remind me of that. Yes, I was at his trial in 1963 in the old synagogue building in Paul Kruger Street in Pretoria.
Wow.
I went there on my bicycle. I was interested in that. I was very interested in history. I was in grade 12. And I went to the trial. I don't ever manage to get into the building.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people around the building and everybody in the press and everything. And but I was able to figure out here what was going on and all that kind of stuff. Wow. And I was also there when the sentence was commuted to life imprisonment instead of death, you know.
Wow, you were actually there.
Yes, yes, I was there. I would go on my bicycle. It was within reach of me to go, you know. And then